Hey everyone, Alex from Mr. Retro Central. I've been getting a lot of questions on the original like Pokemon games or Game Boy Color games, and just about like people like when they're trying to save, like they can't save anymore, and they pull the game out, they try and play the game again, and then their save game's gone. What happens right with these old games is that they're not like the new like games like the Game Boy Advance games or later. It's the same thing with the Super Nintendo games as well. They actually have like a little battery like this, like you'll see, like the old like I think some controllers have them, some stuff like that, but they'll have a little battery like that, and over time the battery will just die out, and then that's why your save game gets loose. But there is a way to actually, which I will show you in this video, to actually change the battery to, you can go buy a new battery and just change it over and you can continue playing. But yeah, it's pretty common, like it will happen unless like it's been refurbished or something, but yeah, pretty much your Game Boy Color games or even like, so yeah, I'll just pretty much show you how it's done. You need to get a security bit, like I know the 64s use a slightly bigger, it's like a similar to a Torx bit, that's like for the 64, and that's for like the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy games. It's like, I think it's like a 3 point something mil, like security bit. And it's just like on the back. I've actually done this one before. I changed this one over. I'm gonna actually show you on my Pokemon Gold today. So yeah, you just get a screwdriver. You get the correct bit. Just take out the screw in the back. I'm sorry if this takes a while. It's pretty delicate, and you'll see why in a minute. Just save that so I don't lose it. So with these cases, they don't pop off or anything, you just got to be careful at first. They actually just slide down, and then you see there's the original battery on it. Now, some of them are different, like some of this battery here, you can see it's just a simple battery, but this one has like a yellow tape around it. It doesn't really matter what battery you get. On the actual back, when you pull off the battery, you'll see it actually says there, writing on it, it says CR2025. I don't know if you can see it, but on this packet, you can, yeah, it's a 2025 round battery, like that. And pretty much this part you're just gonna have to be very careful with, because you can pull this out actually here as well, it makes it a bit easier. But pretty much what you're gonna have to do is these metal pins, they're actually soldered onto the board, but they're actually, I think, attached to the battery, and you're gonna have to break them off. But you gotta be very careful not to actually break the PCB of the actual Game Boy game. So what I do is I get like a flat bit, or like one of these weird things which came in the kit. You just gotta be very gentle and just take your time, like you don't want to risk your game. I do apologize in advance, this may take a while, just because, yeah, I'm just gonna be gentle with it and I don't want to wreck anything, but I'll try and go as fast as I can. Just kind of like, just feel your way through it. Some of them are a lot easier to get off than the others, but some of them, they could be a bit weird. So once you got the top one off, there is one underneath you just got to be very careful with. You can see, I don't know if you can see underneath there, but it's one there. You just got to be careful and just try and get it off as best you can. The bottom one's a lot harder, obviously. Just try with the pin. It's a bit easier to get into smaller spots. As I said, just take your time, because you don't want to risk it. You don't want to snap these pins off as well, otherwise you're going to have to be soldering a new piece on. you just gotta be very careful. I've done this before, but if it's your first time doing it, just be very, very, very careful. Because I know people tried to do this before, and they just like broken their PCBs or scratched these things off, or just take your time. You can see it's starting to come off a bit, starting to lift off the battery a bit. I'll just try that a bit. Yeah, it's coming off better now. There we go. And yeah, you can see on here, it just says a CR2025. Some of them are different. Some of them don't actually use a CR2025. They use like a 2016. But just pull your battery off first, and if you are comfortable with soldering, solder it. But if you're not, it works just as good with electrical tape or something like that. But so you just get the new battery. You just got to remember that the positive's actually on the bottom and the negative's on the top. So you just get your piece down like that, and then you make sure it's like that. What I did was I just get my piece, and then I'll get some tape. So I'll just try and get this set up. So I get my piece, get my tape. Don't be afraid with the tape, like, just try and get it, because what you're going to try and do is, you're going to try and slide it around, and you're going to just make sure it's a new battery. You're going to get this piece, and all you're going to do is you're going to push this down, so just make sure it's firmly on the tape. Get your piece, attach it on, then you're going to slide this piece over. Make sure it's all nice and firm, but before you slide, make sure you get this piece right, attach that onto the top, and get that piece down so it's nice and tight. Nice and tight. Otherwise, the last thing you want is to save, have it working a bit, and then, it's not working again. Just cut it. Just push down tight. Once you feel comfortable with it, just put it back in its case. It will, with the tape, it will probably be like sticking out or bulging a bit, but that's alright because with the case holding it in place, it'll be maybe a lot more firmer, I found. So yeah, just slide the case back on. Put this thing. Get your bit. It's a small one. It's like a security, like similar to a Torx bit. Tighten it. Now, I haven't actually got a Game Boy here, but I got a Super Game Boy, which I can hook up to my Super Nintendo so we can try it out. If this video is too big, I'll probably just cut it up into parts, but okay. So my Super Nintendo is here. I don't know if you guys can see this. These old cartridges, sometimes you have to blow them a bit. There we go. So yeah, you can see it's not broken. We're just going to quickly make a save game, and I'll show you what I mean. Yeah, another time. Yep. Good old Professor Oak. My name will be Retro. Actually prefer, honestly, playing on like a Super Game Boy or the Super Nintendo. Because you got like a big screen. I find it more comfortable than sitting here with like a little Game Boy Color or anything. But yeah, it's pretty cool. In later videos, I will go like into details about the Super Nintendo, some other games, the Super Game Boy, features on it, and I'll show you some other cool stuff as well. So yeah, just you can walk around. I'll just save it here. Would you like to save the game? Yes. Saving. Do not turn off car. Retro save the game. Cool. And then I'll come and I'll just turn it off. Now, some people don't know this, but if you turn it off and just leave it in the console, there's actual direct power still running to the console. So to actually make sure that the battery is working, is you pretty much gotta take it off, take it out, and then there's no power running to it. The battery's not kicking in, because I find that I actually thought the battery in this was still working because I actually left it in there and my save game was continuing. I was playing. I got up to like the second gym, and then I took it out to play Super Mario World, and I put the game back in, and my save game was gone. So I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, we'll whack this in. Hopefully it works. what do you know? It works still. Time, everything. We'll go into the game. Play a retro. And there it is. There's your game. Fixed. You can save again. Go hard, go battle, do whatever you want. Anyways, just Alex from Retro Central. See you later.